Out of 5,000 players in the NBA, only 55 have recorded 20,000 points in their careers. And here's LBJ, the only player to register 40,000 points over 2 decades. But what's even more astonishing about his story is that he has played against 35% of all players who have passed through the league. Thus, his longevity as a basketball player is truly remarkable. No one can match the length of playing minutes in his career record. And despite being almost 40 years old, he remains one of the most respected and feared players in the league. There are many players more athletic than him. There are also guards who can match his reading talent, but none of them can compare to his intelligence, dominance, and discipline. That's why many fans consider him the greatest of all time in the league. It even reached a point where even Team USA, filled with young talents, relied on him. This is the story of the 40-year-old athlete still dominating the NBA. Many of James's peers are either retired or sitting on the bench resting. This is understandable due to the effects of aging. But it seems such words are not in LBJ's vocabulary, because in the NBA today, he is still humiliating many. Among all players who have reached their 21st season, LeBron has the most points accumulated. Even if you combine the scoring of LeBron's contemporaries, they still wouldn't reach the points he has amassed. He has scored 1,122 points in his 21 years, while his fellow veterans combined only have 1,230 points. And that record is just one of many achievements James has from the past season. Because on January 27th against the Warriors, Bron recorded a stat line of 30-20-10, finishing with 36 points and 20 assists, which is also his career high. In the in-season tournament semifinals against the Pelicans, he posted 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists in a 23-minute span, setting a new Lakers record for the fastest 30-point performance in history. On December 6, 2023, he also became the first NBA player to record 30-point games 20 years apart, first in 2003 and then in 2023. He is also close to catching up with Michael Jordan for the most 30-point games, as Jordan has 562 30-point performances compared to LeBron's 554. But when we include the postseason in the count, LBJ stands out there. James has long surpassed Jordan when it comes to double-digit scoring. Compared to Jordan's streak of 886 games, LBJ has won 200. The last time James recorded less than 10 points was in January 2007. Out of almost 1,500 elimination games he has played, he has only failed to reach 10 points on offense 8 times. James is also the all-time leader in scoring 20 points or more, with 1,236 games in his record. But he hasn't just maintained his offensive prowess, he has areas where he continues to improve. For example, in the 2024 season, he has a 41% shooting percentage from the three-point area, which is an all-time best for his career. His effective field goal percentage is also higher than his career averages, with 60% EFG as a 39-year-old, ranking 17th in the league. In his 21 years, LBJ has averaged 25 points in the final quarter, making him the best all-time fourth-quarter scorer in the NBA. He also has 2,600 clutch-time points in the league, and 5 game-winning buzzer beaters recorded in the playoffs, which are both the most in the history of an athlete. In the 2024 season, he also led the league in scoring and field goals made in the fourth quarter. Yet many still say LeBron is unreliable in clutch time on offense. And even though he can't jump as high as he used to, how is it that he remains in the top 5 for fast break points in the entire league? So in his 21st season, it's a mystery how he maintains such a level of intensity, especially considering he has logged 68,000 minutes, 10,000 more than Kobe, and 20,000 more than MJ. If we also include his stints in the World Cup and Olympics, that number rises to 70,000 minutes, which is by far the greatest in NBA history. But what's even more astonishing is that LeBron seems to be unaffected by any injuries that come his way. This is due to his conditioning and discipline. While other average athletes need 2 weeks to recover from a sprained ankle, LeBron just needs tape and he's ready to go again. Recently, he reached 40,000 career points along with 11,000 rebounds and 11,000 assists. If his dominance continues along with his son Bronny, it wouldn't be surprising if he reaches the 45,000 mark before he finishes his legacy. And to give you another reason to admire him, even if you combine the career points of Bird and Magic in the NBA, they still wouldn't match LBJ. So even if James retires tomorrow or the day after, we can be sure it will take a long time before the scoring record he set is broken. There's no chance he could have lasted 20 years in the NBA with such a body, but with LeBron, this hasn't been a problem because in his 21 seasons in the league, he has only missed 180 games in his entire career. In the postseason, His durability increases because he has never missed a game in the playoffs for any franchise he played for. Being available and healthy is a huge factor for your team, but if you add in an average of 25 points per game, that becomes the biggest argument for LBJ in NBA discussions. He is also 33rd all-time in total rebounds. But if he continues his career, he could catch up with Dennis Rodman and enter the top 20 all-time rebounders in history. And when it comes to assists, he has recorded 11,000 and is on track to retire as the 4th all-time in assists. Since the majority of his assists lead to three-point shots, that translates to more than 26,000 points for his teams. And what does that mean? That's 66,000 total points scored by James when combining scoring and passing, and he is the only one in history to achieve that. His 20-year stint as an All-Star is also a record that is unlikely to be taken from him, as well as his record of 19 All-NBA selections. Because of these awards, he has surpassed Hall of Famers like Kareem, Kobe, and Tim Duncan, who have 15 to their names. And even if we say it's possible that LBJ may not surpass MJ in terms of championship counts, when it comes to individual talent and titles, I can say that James is the most dominant athlete in the world. So whether you are a fan, supporter, or critic, he deserves our respect. Because in this era of the NBA, he is one of the greatest. It's hard to imagine not seeing him play once he retires.